Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever new Capenna draft. Before I dive in, I want to give a huge shout out to Wizards of the Coast for giving me access to an early access account that has all of the cards unless we play in these drafts a day early, so thank you to Wizards for giving me that free account. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Let's get started. So, new Capenna here. We're starting off with a pretty good rare, it looks like, 2 mana, and then whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it'll slowly grow, you can create treasures. Overall, a great start to the draft. One thing about new Capenna that you need to know is that it does incentivize you to play 3 colors a lot of the time. You can play any of the wedges, 5 of the wedges actually. So you can play green, white, red, you can play white, blue, black, you can play red, black, green, you can play it's hard for me to remember which ones I've said. You can play black, red, blue, and then you can play basically, and then what's the last one that I'm forgetting? Oh right, blue, white, green. So basically, Bant, Esper, Jund, Grixis, and Naya. So the ones from like Alara. Anyway, this is a great rare. If we weren't taking that, I like Riveter's Requisitioner. It's a nice 2-drop that can also get me a treasure to fix my colors if I play 3 colors. Murder is a great common. Sorry that I didn't talk all that much about those cards in the pack. I wanted to give some format background. If you want more format background, you can check out my draft guide for the set. I've already posted it, and so you can check that out. Okay, so we've got a Gala Greeters, which means it can go into either the Bant color combination or into the Cabaretti color, or into the Naya color combination, so Cabaretti or Brokers. Or it could just go into a green-red deck, or something, or white-green or something like that. So I like the Elegant Entourage. Whenever another creature enters, I can buff my other creatures, which seems quite nice to me. There's also Warm Welcome, which I think is a pretty good card, especially because I have my Gala Greeters, which is a good card to go, like, want to be able to draw more frequently. I do like Elegant Entourage a little bit better. Just a 4-mana 4/4 that can buff my other creatures to enable attacks. Seems good. I like Ominous Parcel as well, because the 2-mana ability to get a basic land is really nice for fixing your colors. And then Involuntary Employment is good if you have sacrifice synergies, which there are some decent ones in this set. A Windshield Agent can be good as well, but we're just going to take the Elegant Entourage, stick to green for now. Okay, now we have a little bit of a decision point. We could stick with green and take something like Chaldea's Strong Arm. This is like a fine creature and could play out well. But there's also Broker's Charm, which is a 3-color card that is actually quite powerful. I think it's a very good card and worth speculating on early. It's kind of like taking a 3-color card is almost as if you're taking a 2-color card in this set to some degree. Sure, it's pretty hard to cast, but you are incentivized to play one of the 3-color combinations. There's also Cabaretti Initiate, which I don't think is particularly good. Rafine's Informant, which I think is quite good. And if I took this, I could be leaving myself open to either the green, white, blue, or the red, green, white. It's kind of hard to explain all of the color combinations in this set instead of just saying, oh, green, red, or green, white. But yeah, I think Broker's Charm is enough more powerful than Rafine's Informant that it's worth speculating on here. After that, I would probably take the Informant over the Strong Arm, though, just because I think it's more powerful. Okay, and now it looks like we can get a Bouncer's Beatdown, sticking to green for now, and keeping my options open. This is just a very powerful card. It's basically a removal spell, an instant speed for green decks, and it's a little bit harder to blow out than a lot of green decks as well, and it's especially good against black. So I do like this card. If I wasn't taking that, it becomes a lot more interesting. There is a piece of mana fixing in Ominous Parcel, which I do think is good. There's a Civil Servant if I just wanted to go more towards a green-white deck and maybe splash the Broker's Charm or just ignore it altogether. And then there's Expendable Lackey, which I also think is a good card. Maybe not as good in this color combination, but still a good common to be aware of. So I'm going to take the Bouncer's Beatdown, stick to just having like a lot of green cards. But if I wasn't taking that, it'd be an interesting pick. I think I would settle on either the Parcel or the Servant, leaning toward Parcel just so I make sure I can have some mana fixing early. The Virtuoso can be pretty solid as well. Okay, so we are seeing a lot of Ominous Parcels here. We are seeing a lot of blue cards in this pack. Out of the Way is just a great card, especially if you are playing against a green deck. Just bouncing it, drawing a card, quite good. I already have the Broker's Charm to potentially play Brokers. There's 4 blue cards in this pack, all of which are reasonable. I think Majestic Metamorphosis is certainly a card you're happy to play 1 of or 2 of, just because it's just a great card. You can get some good advantages with it, but it can sometimes be awkward if you like don't have a creature in play. Parcel's a great card as well to have access to. but we're just going to take it out of the way. And it's looking like we can just potentially play this band color combination. Ooh, and now here is another interesting pick. There's Obscura Street Front, which can get a Plains or an Island, and I think it's between that and the Broker's Veteran here. I think Broker's Veteran is actually quite nice. It's the sort of 2-drop that the reason I think it's good is because if you trade with this card and they don't get serious value out of the shield counter, you feel like you got a major victory, because them putting a shield counter on one of their creatures is pretty bad for you. So I feel like having that sort of card in play, it just makes things really awkward for your opponent. However, I do really like getting mana fixing. I don't have any right now, and if I am going to try to play the Broker's Charm, I'm going to need some mana fixing. So it's a close pick here between, I think, a premium 2-drop and some mana fixing. I think I'm going to take the 2-drop because I think it is one of the best blue commons. But if it was anything a little bit worse, I think I would have probably just taken the other card there. Okay, now there's Hypnotic Grifter. This is an interesting one. It gives you a nice mana sink, and if you have any Connive synergies, it can be quite good as well. And it looks like I've got some like nice blue-green base type stuff, and then maybe splash white from there. I also like Warm Welcome. As I said, I already have the Gala Greeters as a card to go get, and I think Warm Welcome is just going to perform pretty well. But I think Hypnotic Grifter looks pretty solid to me. It's a nice 1-drop that can then just make sure you find action in the mid to late game. So I'm going to try it, but I could see Warm Welcome being better. Just seems like a nice like cheap card that can give you some extra upside. Okay, and now a Nimble Larcenist. It's not necessarily going to make my deck. I do still have all of these green cards that I would like to play, but there is a chance that it makes my deck, and it's significantly better than Chrome Cat, which I think is my next pick out of this pack. There's also Majestic Metamorphosis, which could just be the pick here. But seeing a pick 8 Nimble Larcenist is kind of giving me a sign that maybe I can slip into the Obscura or maybe even Splash Black in another deck. But we're going to take this here. I think it's just a high enough upside to be worth it. And now there is Glittermonger and Majestic Metamorphosis as the 2 cards I'm really considering here. Glittermonger is nice for helping me fix my mana, giving me extra mana to spend on things like Grifter. And then more Metamorphosis is just like a nice blue card to like make my creatures a little better. I think I'm going to take the Glittermonger. I think it's less replaceable. I've seen a lot of these cards flying around, so I'm probably going to be able to get one a little bit later. And Warm Welcome came back. Also, Ominous Parcel came back. That's pretty crazy. That is a pretty late Ominous Parcel. I'm just going to take it. I do want to have some fixing, especially because I don't have any yet. Yep, and I got the Metamorphosis anyway. Exactly what I was hoping for. There is a Sewer Crocodile, but I don't think that card is particularly great. It's all right, but it's expensive, and you can usually do better. Or Metamorphosis is a fine card to have one of. I currently find it unlikely that I'll be able to play the Nimble Larcenist. Ooh, another Ominous Parcel. There's also an Expendable Lackey, which is a card I like, but I'd rather just get a little piece of fixing here. Over the Cabaretti Initiate, I will take Run Out of Town. Just medium interaction. And Disdainful Strip can actually be playable. Okay, moving on to pack 2. Already we see another Broker's card. So if this is our deck right now, we'd be like blue-green base, splashing white. This card is pretty good because it can deal with things in play, things on the stack, just really be a nice card to hold up. So I like that card. There's also another Out of the Way. There is a Swooping Praetor, which can be pretty good as well as a nice like kind of removal spell with flash and flying and evasion. This card's also quite good. Endless Detour honestly might just be worse than some of these cards. I had a couple of these in my pre-release, and it was pretty solid for me. It felt good to have. It just gives you like flexible interaction for anything. Windshield Agent is pretty powerful though as well. Swooping Protector is also good, but I'd rather take a blue card because as you can see, I'm way more heavy into blue. Then Out of the Way is also nice. I'll take the Endless Detour. I'm probably going to try to play some white cards, and so that'll be good. Ooh, Jewel Thief. Perfect. So Jewel Thief is great. It's a 3/3. Makes you a treasure token. Just one of the best commons in the set. And overall a card that you'll pretty much play in any deck and be very happy with. After that, I would probably take the Exotic Pets. And then after that, it gets a lot closer with everything else. But I'm liking where we're at right now. I don't regret taking this Broker's Veteran over the piece of mana fixing, because Broker's Veteran, I think, is going to play out quite well. I'm just excited to see how it does, honestly. I want to try it out. It's the sort of, yeah, again, as I said, it's the sort of card that can really put a wrench in your opponent's plans. Wow. Fairy Vandal is quite good and makes this Hypnotic Grifter a lot better as well. How many other card draw spells do I have? This draws me a card. I mean, this can draw me cards. This can draw me a card. So Fairy Vandal definitely has some potential. It's better in a deck that has more of the conniving cards. Maybe I take Venom Connoisseur instead. Giving my other creatures Death Touch could be really good for attacks, especially if I can get 2 creatures in play in a turn. So I think that might just be better than the Fairy Vandal. Even though I do have some instant speed stuff, so maybe just having an instant could be really good. Creatures with Flash are pretty nice. And then there's this card, which I don't think is particularly great. It's just very expensive. So it's between this card and this card. I do like being able to give all my creatures Death Touch, though. That seems quite nice. Ooh, nice. So getting a Jetmir's Garden is good, just because it gets me green mana and also white mana, and I can cycle it. So the red mana part doesn't really matter as much. I still think this is worth taking here, just for being a 2-color card, essentially, that can cycle. This card's also fine for fixing, but since I'm not really playing black mana, it's going to be harder to use and, like, stuff like that. But you can still use, like, the land that you can't, it's not as good because you can't just, like, straight up cast it for 7, but you can still, like, put it on a land and then tap that land for black. So it can still be playable as some fixing if you need it. But I'm just going to take the garden, give me some nice extra fixing. Okay, and now there is a Fairy Vandal. I am going to take that here over Paragon and Sewer Crocodile and this Broker's Initiate. Fairy Vandal still does seem good in my deck. Ooh, perfect. So now I get to choose between whether I'd like a card that can get a forest or a plains, or an island or a plains. I've definitely taken one of these lands here over like the cat and the parcel. I already have a couple parcels. I am going to settle on the courtyard, I think. The reason being is now that I have garden and courtyard, if I do see a red card that I want to splash, it's probably more feasible now because I have 2 red sources. Kind of like that. Between that and Metamorphosis, not really the biggest fan of Metamorphosis after I already have one. I guess we'll take Rakish Revelers because, as I said, I could totally splash red for something if I found something worth doing it for. Rafine's Informant is quite nice, but I'm probably not going to have enough white mana to truly make it good because it won't be like supported. But I already have a Disdainful Stroke and a Run Out of Town, so I might as well just take this. This is an interesting deck so far. Hopefully I don't have to play Run Out of Town. That card seems a little bit weak to me. I'm happy to play a For the Family. Combat Trick sometimes can be good. There's also Speakeasy Server as a life gain flyer. How many creatures do I have? 10 creatures. And then Dapper Shieldmate. It's a shield counter. I'll just take the Combat Trick. It can be nice to have access to these sorts of things. Celebrity Fencer is a cool card. I kind of want to try it. I have a lot of non-creatures is the problem, but it seems good. It's between that and another Metamorphosis. There's also Patch Up. I'll take the Fencer, maybe try that out. Though there's not a high likelihood of me playing any of those cards. Okay, a 2-drop that is actually my main colors is going to probably oust like the Rafine's Informant from my deck. Quick Draw Dagger can do some stuff, but I'll take Socialite. You still oftentimes want to just be 2 colors base and then like kind of splashing into a 3rd color, I'd say, here. I do like Revelers because it does have some synergies with some of my, like, Gala Greeters, Venom Connoisseurs. Arc Spitter's interesting. It basically gives your creature unblockable in a lot of cases, but Most Wanted could perform. Probably not a card that I'm hoping to play, though. Ooh, diggity. Nice. We get a Workshop War Chief. So just a excellent rare. One of the best rares in the set, I think. It's a 5-mana 5/3 that dies into a 4/4, and you can even blitz it, and it gains you life. So just excellent. Really makes me like somewhat wish that I had whatever the 3-mana card that can help me search 5 cards deep for a creature. I forget exactly what I took over it. I think I took Ominous Parcel over it, which I still stand by, because you do need fixing in this sort of set, but it would have been good. Workshop War Chief, an excellent addition. After that, I would take one of these lands, probably the Obscurus Dwarf at this point, just so I have some diversity in being able to get islands as well. But yeah, Workshop War Chief is excellent. Okay, Take to the Streets is a mass pump spell. There's Gathering Throng, a little bit late to go for this. I think Rogue's Gallery is actually quite good, but not for my deck, because I'm not really, don't have a ton of like 3-color cards or gold cards and stuff. There's a Cabaret Courtyard, which is very tempting just to get more mana fixing. There's also Take to the Streets, which gives all my creatures buffs. How many citizens do I have? No citizens, so not really what you want if you don't have a lot of citizens. Wow, I would have thought that some of these are citizens, but I guess they're all druids and rogues. I'm playing druid tribal. I guess this thing makes 1 citizen, but yeah, we're just gonna take the courtyard. Okay. Broker's Hideout is perfect. It can get any of my colors. Just pretty much the exact card I'm looking for. Ballroom Brawlers could be good, but I already have some expensive stuff, and just getting good mana gonna serve me well, I think. Just talking about cards, though, I think that Involuntary Employment is a good red card in most red decks, because there are a decent number of casualty cards, and so once you get to like 5 mana, you can play this into like a 2-mana casualty card, or 6 mana, play this into a 3-mana casualty card, or into sacrificing it with Body Dropper. There's just a decent number of sacrifice synergies, so this card does seem pretty solid to me. And probably even just worth taking relatively early in the draft as well. You don't have to like have the sack synergies, because you'll probably just be able to see them later. Gosh. A lot of 3-color cards here, not for my deck, but I do think Quasar is excellent. I think Corpse Appraiser is also like a great card. And then I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take, because it's kind of lackluster on that front for me. Maybe I just... So there's not really a... I guess I'm not really in the market for that card, because I'm not playing black or red. I'm not really in the market for Express or Pinions. I guess I'll take another Rafine's Informant over Halo Scarab. I don't think Scarab is particularly playable. Just 1 toughness is really big downside. And sure, this has 1 toughness, but I can get more than that. Okay, so now I can either take a land or I can take a Rocks Pummeler. Those are really my main options. So this can get a Plains or a Forest. Civil Servant is nice, but as I said, I don't have a ton of citizens, and white isn't one of my main colors, so casting it on turn 2 is very tricky for me. So we'll just take the land here over the Rocks Pummeler. Pummeler would be solid, though, probably, in this deck. I'm trying to get away with not playing that many planes. I do have, like, Run Out of Town if I need an extra card. Okay. Dapper Shieldmate. Sure, I can try it. Shield counters are still just good. Expendable Lackey is also an option. It's not quite as good in my deck because I don't really use it particularly well. But it can just be an extra creature coming into play, give me a chump blocker. I'll try it. Could just really be annoying as well for my opponents. Target player mills half their library, that's funny. And you can copy it, so they just mill like 10 cards or something. That doesn't seem very good to me. So now we get to try the Dapper Shieldmate. We could try Rafine's Guidance, but it seems much better if you have a lot of Connive cards to get into your graveyard. So we'll just try the Shieldmate. We already have a For the Family and stuff. Ooh, Broker's Hideout, the perfect mana fixing card. I do like Fairy Vandal, but it's not that good in my deck. I don't have a lot of card draw. Make Disappear can be fine, or Corrupt Court Official can be fine, but I'm just going to take the Broker's Hideout. And now Echo Inspector as a looting tool, or Chaldea Strong Arm as like a top-end like blitz card to make my creatures better. I do like flying. It's also that card, but I think the Connive is nice. Sure, I'll take Sewer Crocodile, maybe. Maybe I'll play that. Take to the Streets. Not particularly good for me, I don't think. So we have 3, 5, 6. One of the things with Take to the Streets is it's very good in certain situations, but not very good in a lot of other situations, which... I don't think we'll need Rakish Revelers. We looks like we got there on the mana fixing department. 6 lands. Ooh, another Crocodile. That could just be a way to close the game, honestly. So let's see our creatures. We have 16 creatures. Probably not going to need this Dapper Shieldmate, I would say. We just have better stuff to do. Okay, we get some vault progress. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So let's build our deck. We kind of already have all the cards that we would want to include here. We'll zoom this out. This card's not particularly great. I guess we could put it in just as a consideration. We're not going to try to play those off-color cards. And we're not going to play this because we're going to try to have mostly blue and green and then a little bit of white. And since we're only going to be splashing white for like our Broker's Charm, our Endless Detour, we're not going to need the Dapper Shieldmate. I think Celebrity Fencer could be worth splashing with 15 creatures. And since I'm already splashing white, so let's just say I play 1 Plains, so I can get it with an Ominous Parcel or a Courtyard or a Hideout, or yeah. So then I play. So this is 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 lands. This can get lands as well. So I need to make 2 cuts. I don't think I need the Glittermonger. I don't really have ways to use the treasures particularly well. And I already have some 4-drops. I also don't love this Fairy Vandal right now. I guess I have Jetmir's Garden. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have some ways of getting a counter on it. And I can, yeah, and I have the garden. So I have a few ways. So maybe I'll try it. Okay, so how many green sources do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 green sources. I have 6, 7, 8 blue sources. Okay. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white sources. So this seems pretty good to me. I have a lot of mana because of this Ominous Parcel, but maybe I still just cut a Sewer Crocodile because it's kind of an expensive card. And then I'm down to 13 creatures, so maybe I would just rather not have the Celebrity Fencer because I'm not really base white. And then I just add back in the Sewer Crocodile. That's just a nice little addition there. And then I don't really have to worry about having my white mana. It could just be that this isn't greedy enough, that I have the fixing, so I could just play a heavier white, but I don't think Celebrity Fencer is really what I need in this deck because I'm relatively creature light. And I think Sewer Crocodile is going to be able to finish the game a lot more consistently for me, especially because I'm going to be able to get 1-drops in the graveyard, 2-drops, 3-drops, 4-drops, and lands. So being able to activate that for 1 mana is definitely a real possibility in my deck. Anyway, that is going to do it for the build. I will see you in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It's thanks to patrons that I'm able to make as many videos as I do, and if you decide to become a patron, you even gain access to my card-by-card tier list for Streets of New Capenna. So you can use this bonus resource with instant access to all of my opinions on the cards to help you in your initial drafts of the format. If you're interested in Patreon, you can find more information in the link in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round number 1. We are on the play. We have a good hand here. The Fairy Vandal is actually going to grow. Lackey plus Metamorphosis is a great combo. So let's keep it. Wow, that was cool. Man, that was really cool. Start with the Lackey. Ooh, they they've got a blue-black, so maybe they're playing Obscura. Okay. They'll block. I will Metamorphosis. Get a counter. Everything is going according to plan. I now have a 3-drop in my graveyard. If this dies, I can get a 1/1. I have an evasive 2-drop threat. I'm off to a great start. Perfect. So now I'm going to attack with my 2/3. Actually, I don't want to attack with my 2/3. Huh, maybe I can, and then if they go for anything, I can... oh, I kind of have to play my Cabaret Courtyards here. Interesting. Yeah, because that way I can play this on turn 6. So I'm just going to play my Courtyard, get a Forest. And then not attack. Because if this thing gains lifelink, I guess I could have attacked, and then if they did give it lifelink, that was pretty good for me. But, ooh, it keeps track. 2 out of 5. That's cool. Let's do it now. They are going to regret doing that, I would say. So I have 0-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Okay, they're going to cast that no matter what, so I'm not going to bother countering it. They could have activated this thing. I'm not sure why they didn't. Interesting. Maybe they have a counter spell? I'm not going to play around the counter spell that counters unless I pay 2. If they have it, they have it. They probably do have it. Oh, they have Disdainful Stroke. Okay, that was going to get me no matter what. Yeah. I mean, them not activating this was a dead giveaway that they had something, but I have to try and cast my spells here. They're going to be able to counter this guy no matter what. They don't have any pressure to hold up mana right now. Okay, that can be good. I'm actually going to use this as a card draw spell. Nice. And then I'll try to run out of town. Okay, they put it on the bottom. Interesting. We're really in this game if we just draw something reasonable. Eventually. I only have like one island left or something. So I only have like 2 lands left in this deck. I need to keep the forest in case I draw the Cabaretti Courtyard. The fact that one of my lands cycles is pretty good here. They just have the board advantage because they've gotten to cast more spells, I feel like. I'll start holding lands in case I draw my Connive guy. Well, that's really bad. I'm just going to try to stall them on being able to pull ahead here. Because I am at 9, so if they just get to resolve that, they'll put me on like a 2-turn clock almost. Clearly keeping it on top, that makes sense. Tough. This is not going well. Inspiring Overseer is just a beating of a common. I'm not going to block. I mean, not going to use my removal spell. I just found my gas a little bit too late in the process here. I actually have a shot here. If I draw a creature and they have nothing, I have them on a 2-turn clock almost. And they can't kill me next turn. Pain. Of course they have it. Oh, they sack it. Okay, they draw a card. Yep, that's tough. Yikes. You have way more card draw than me. This is a tough matchup, it feels like. Huh. They have a lot of good cards. They're only 1 card further into their deck than me. I don't have a lot of lands left to draw, which is really good, because I've been thinning my deck out. Oh, that's not good. Too late. We'll say good game, and then we will concede. Well played, opponent. 2 Overseers was too good for me. And I will see you folks in the next round. Welcome to round 2. This is another good hand. We can use this to get a forest, to play our Jewel Thief. Ooh, I think we're going to play this on turn 1. Just to make sure we can cast our Jewel Thief on turn 3 and hopefully workshop War Chief on turn 4. Okay, Halo Scarab. Kind of gets dunked on by the Lackey, so we're going to play the Lackey. Slightly less mana efficient, but crushes Halo Scarab, so that's good for us. They might have a Metamorphosis. Nope. Just the Dream for us. The Corpse Appraiser. Correct. I still think I'm supposed to take that trade. I mean, I don't want to just play around Corpse Appraiser. It's an uncommon. I've never seen it from their deck yet. Target's a green permanent. Of course, they're playing the color combination that does not involve green. Okay. And we'll pass turn. I was hoping to just jam the Workshop War Chief that turn. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to now, because I would have had to cash in my treasure. They would have just bounced it. Ouch, okay. Let's play this guy. They can return their bounce spell if the guy dies. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. They were going to try to sack their land, but you can only use this for instants and sorceries! Oh, never mind. They have a different plan. Oh, no. What do they have? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's better than I thought it would be. But to be fair, in my head, you're not casting this card until I already have 5 mana in play and can cast all my spells. But, still. This is just devastating. I'm getting owned. Absolutely pwned by my opponent's cards. Holy heck. They cast it on like turn 5. With casualty. Yeah, this is insane. It's sickening. Gotta be said. Don't even have... Did they mill all of my lands? I think my deck is like all forest at this point. Yeah, there's no way I can do 20 in time. Let's just say good game and go to the next one and hope we can get a win. Okay, let's get a win here. We're on the draw, but we have a great card here. We don't have an island yet. Still, we're going to get our forest here. We can get treasures from our Gala greeters. The suitcase. No, don't do it. Please. Please, sir. Okay. Not ideal, I must say. Play this next turn. Think a treasure. Cast this the next turn. It's the Riveteers. Ooh, that's really good. Okay, so this guy wants to get a treasure token. At least I think he does. I can flash in this Fairy Vandal to make this guy a 2/2. And I also have 4 the family up. You're kidding me. My gosh. Jetmir? Man, I really don't want to go winless here. That would just be sad. Okay, that's a good card to draw. Okay, I already have 2 treasure tokens. I have an island now. So I don't need treasures anymore. I can put a counter on it. Or I can gain some life. Put a counter on it. Slowly start to grow him up. So they now have 5 creatures. If they get a 6th one, their creatures get trample. That's a huge problem. Oh dear. Maybe I was supposed to do some trading last turn or something. I feel like I got rolled by like random circumstances this draft. I don't think my deck is bad by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. So I think I can use this guy to block that guy. So they have 8, 16, 23, 27 trample coming in. I have 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 toughness. So I can live here, I think. And I can gain 2 life from this guy. Block. I have to leave Jetmir alive. That's a problem. But this thing is too big already. Block the 5/1, block there. I could also just block there and then double block there. That's probably the best. If they have a combat trick, I'm so wrecked anyway. This way I take 4. I'm taking 3, 6. I think this is my best block. I might be leaving myself dead, but I don't think I am. Do they have a combat trick as their last card? Hopefully not. Oh my gosh, I am dead exactly. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wrecked. Was there anything I could have done differently? So I would have only had, like, this gave me 2 toughness to protect myself for 2 life and gained me 2 life. So it was better than playing for the family because I don't have 4 creatures. So, and then I blocked maximum toughness. I blocked all their stuff. Oh gosh. If I had blocked something earlier, then Jetmir wouldn't have given their guys trample that turn. So I wouldn't have died. Oh my gosh, that's such an ouch. That is such an ouch. Oh my goodness. Well, sometimes you're going to go 0-3. I didn't think this deck was going to go 0-3, not going to lie. I mean, I have some good cards. I have this Workshop guy, I've got the Gala Greeters, I've got good mana, I've got a lot of good 2-drops. I mean, we lost that last game to Jetmir, pretty much. We lost the second game to that crazy mill combo. And then the first game was looking really good because we got like our Metamorphosis down and then stuff like that. But then our opponent just played 2 Inspired Overseers, and we drew too many lands before we got to our 4/4 and stuff to start pressuring them. So overall, I don't think the deck was bad. I think it was pretty solid, actually. It was just the way the matches played out didn't benefit us, and that is how it goes sometimes. If you were watching this on YouTube, I still hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something from the draft portion and the matches, even though they didn't go as well as I would have hoped. And if you did enjoy it, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. If you did make it all the way to the end of the video, to let me know you made it, leave hashtag workshopping it, because this deck needed a little bit of maybe help to do better. So it's like workshopping an idea, workshopping it to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. I still had a lot of fun, though. I think the set is going to be awesome. And I do want to give a big thanks to Wizards of the Coast for letting me access this preview account a couple days before everyone else gets to draft the set, so I can show it off to all of you. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. If you do it, also, if you would like to support my content, you can do so via Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It's linked in the description down below. You gain access to my tier list for this set, and then also in the description down below, you can find links to the NicolaiBolas Discord server, my articles, the NicolaiBolas Twitter, all sorts of good stuff. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time.